tout le monde, merci pour votre participation aujourd'hui pour ce webinaire. Merci pour votre temps et je voudrais vous introduire notre intervenant d'aujourd'hui, professeur Yarub Al-Douri. Je vais l'introduire en anglais, comme ça c'est plus facile et plus voilà, clair. Donc, Professor Dr. Yarub Al-Douri from the University of Malay in Malaysia. He has initiated the Nanotechnology Engineering Master's Program and Nanocomputing Laboratory, the first in Malaysia. Al-Douri is a winner of OEAD Award, Austria 2020, Japan Society for the Promotion of Science Award, Asian Universities Alliance Award, Iraqi Forum for Intellectuals and Academics Award, TWAS UNESCO Associateship Twice Award, and Best Paper Award at Global Conference on Energy and Sustainable Development in the UK. The total is 65 awards. Al-Douri is Editor-in-Chief of Experimental and Theoretical Nanotechnology, Editor-in-Chief of World Journal of Nanoscience Engineering, and Associate Editor of Nanomicro Letters. Q1. Al-Douri has more than 662 publications currently, including patents, books, chapters review, papers, articles, and conferences, and a $4.2 million research grants. He has citation of 5,711, an H index of 34, and I index of 165 for the moment. I will be moderating this session. I'm Nadine Iskander, research consultant at Elsevier. Thank you all, and I give the hand to Professor Dr. Yarub to share his screen. Please also note that the certificate will be sent in details how to take the certificate, only for the participants who will attend the whole session. Thank you. Professor Yarub, please share your screen.
Thank you so much. Can I share my talk, yes, or you need to share?
Yeah, now you have, you can share now. I just put the option.
Okay, just
you can see the share screen.
Yes, just a few times.
Mm-hmm. Just for the info of the participants, Professor Yarub also understands and speaks French, so feel free to put your questions in the questions and answers box in English or in French. Thank you.
Is it okay now?
Yes, you can put it in full view, so it will be more clear to everyone.
Is it okay?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, Africa. Good afternoon, Europe and Asia. Thank you so much for joining me to present you really an outline or the benefit of authorship skills for good scientific papers. This topic or theme is very important for all postgraduate students, including master and PhD students, in addition to all academics and researchers worldwide. Agenda of today is including several points, starting with first one: did everyone pick a journal or a paper and learn the structure of a scientific paper? Also, the structure and function of the major subunits of the main body of a scientific paper. Examine the published papers that students choose. How are they similar and different? And presentations of the objectives of your own individual studies. So this is the agenda of today. I will going on to present you the best of our works within the last 2 decades of our age, scientifically. How to write an effective research paper. Really, there are several head points is they are very important to follow up to let you good writer and scholar of writing the scientific paper. First is getting ready with data. Data should be available with the author or research team to let you start up the writing your paper. Thereafter, you will go to the first draft. After collecting your data completely, you need to write the paper in first draft. Thereafter, structure the scientific paper, is meaning divide your paper into very important parts, starting with abstract, introduction, methodology, results, discussion, and conclusion. Then after, the last thing is the list of references. Then you need to select the suitable or appropriate journal for your topic to submit it and get the revision from the journal about your manuscript. Okay, getting ready with data. This is my advice to all of you, is to gather all important data, analysis, plot, and tables. Everything, you should collect all of them within your two hands, okay? Then after, organize the results so they follow a logical sequence. This may or may not be in the order of experiments conducted. Consolidate data plots and create figures for the manuscript, your manuscript. Limit the number of total figures is between 6 to 8, okay, for useful manuscript or paper. That is usually a good number, including additional data, multimedia if you need it in the supporting information, and discuss the data with advisor or colleague or expert and note down important points, because the discussion or interpretations are very important to support your paper to be ready for publication. The first draft is identified by 2 or 3 important findings emerging from the experiments. Make them the central theme of the article. That's meaning not to note or notice good and bad writing styles in the literature. Some are simple and easy to follow up. Some are just too complicated. So, because I need within the structure of my paper, we will see later, I need to support my work with the previous works. So the previous works may be benefited to my current work, and others could be just benefit to my own information. Also, note the readership of the journal that you are considering to publish your work. Prepare the figures, schemes, tables in a provisional manner. This is very important because the style of the manuscript, prepared manuscript, is very important for all journals worldwide. So pay your attention to quantification of data accuracy, significant digits and errors, etc. The structure of any scientific paper is as the following, starting with the title, followed by abstract, TOC graphics. TOC is meaning table of contents. This is very important for the review paper. We will look later about research paper and review paper. So TOC graphics or table of contents is very important for the review paper. Starting with introduction, then experimental section. This is, I mentioned now earlier, this is the methodology. Some of you are experimentalists, some of you are theoreticians. So the methodology is meaning to put your own methodology, even experimental or theoretical. Followed by result and discussion. This is the body of your manuscript and very, very important. Finalized by conclusions. Conclusions should reflect the abstract. This is very important. Thereafter, the acknowledgement. This is not compulsory. This is not compulsory, but it's important if you got financial support from your university or from other institution. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay. Thereafter, list your references. The references should be updated. I mean updated, should be less than 10 years ago. It's very benefited and useful to use updated references. We are now in the year 2020, so I advise you to use references less than 2010. Okay, so some of exceptional cases, not always, you need to use from bibliography the ancient references. This could be accepted, but not the majority of references. And also the supporting information. This is very important for who is in the field of biological research. They need to support their research by specific data or information. This is called supporting information. The scientific paper is really divided into 3 parts. This fact is critically important, and we will see the title here in the beginning, then abstract, then the body of your paper. Also, in published forms, the title comes first and the abstract second. They are nearly always the last to be written. So when you intend to, this is my experience, I give it to you. When you intend to write paper, please let the title and abstract in the last stage. You need to start to write with the body of your work. Start with methodology, what you are following up, then results and discussions, then go up to introduction, then write abstract and conclusion should reflect the abstract. Last thing is the title. This is the perfect way or manner to write scientific paper. What to write first? This is very important, okay? Because this question is coming from long experience of papers. Also, in published forms, the title comes first and the abstract second. They are nearly always the last to be written, or at least the last items to be finalized, as I mentioned earlier. The body of the paper is tackled first. That's meaning the body is discussion, result and discussion, then methodology, then introduction, then abstract and conclusions, then last thing is the title. This is the title. The title composes a title that is simple, attractive, and accurately reflects the investigation. I suggest you to write or to put your title in concise words, not detailed words, because you need to attract the reviewer first, then the reader. Okay, so the title should be very concise. For example, here, I give you example. Which of these 2 titles make you read the paper? There are 2 titles here: Study of SERS, Chemical Enhancement Factor using Beta Layers, and Signal on Detection of DNA Whole Transfer. Which one is more attractive, more adherent, more has gravity? Really, the second one is more attractive. And please avoid to start your title with a verb. That's meaning study of blah, blah, blah. Investigate of blah, blah, blah. Analyze of blah, blah, blah. Characterize of blah, blah, blah. Calculate of blah, blah, blah. Avoid these manners. No, it's not good. But it's better to put your title concise and using several words. Signal on detection of DNA. This is more attractive. Go up. The abstract. The abstract should give the outline of your research paper. First couple of sentences should focus on what the study is about. Include major findings in a style that general readership can read and understand. So keep it short and effective. Effective, this is very, very important because the abstract is the first thing with title attractive to the reviewer. So he will decide, is your paper deserved to be accepted for publication or not? So please be creative in generating curiosity. Okay, so you can see here, if you read, the abstract is simple and informative. So when the editor of journal see that the abstract is very informative, very creative, very benefited, he will decide to review all the parts of your paper. TOC, Table of Contents Graphs. The table of contents, as I mentioned, this is very important for the review paper. But TOC graphics, you need to select the best figure or graph to put it in your paper. As you see here, there is curves in the upper figure, and also there is device in the lower figure. Both of them are good, but I advise you, from my experience, to put which figure is more emerged, more highlighted, more significant. Okay? Why? Because some of the journals, not all, some of the journals, when they are publish your paper, put in the contents of that issue, okay, the title of your paper, the author names, and put TOC graphic, okay, to guide all the readers that what? That this graph reflects the content of this paper published in our journal. Okay, follow up. The structure of scientific paper. As I said, start with introduction. Really, the introduction is divided into 3 parts. First one, overview of your idea and the method you used. This first part in introduction. Second part, add 2 to 3 or maximum 5 previous studies of your work. Because all of you, including I, we didn't reach to be super scientists. We are still struggling in science and technology. We are still researchers, okay? So we need to consume the previous works that we modified their ideas or improved their method and so on. So this is the second part of the introduction. And thirdly, to point out the objective of your work. What did you achieve? What did you achieve? What did you did? Okay, what did you prepare for your work? This should be written in detail. second section is experimental section or theoretical section. I mean methodology. Divide this section into materials and methods, characterization, measurements, and data analysis. Okay? As I said, some of you are theoreticians, some of you experimentalists. So this section, experimental section, could be suitable for experimentalists and the theoretician in the same time. Okay, so put your methodology. What did you calculate in detail? What did you measure in detail? Step by step. This is very important because when you publish your work, you will present good benefit to all readers without any exclusion. Now we are reaching to the body of your work called the results and discussion. Okay? Describe the results in detail and include a healthy, detailed discussion. This is very important because the interpretations and discussions are ready to be embodied into the body of the paper. The order of figures and tables are very important. You need to order them sequentially, one by one. When you discuss figure number 1, you need to put figure 1 or figure number 1 close to your discussion. When you display table 1, you need to interpret the data in table 1 and to put table 1 beside your interpretation. Okay? This is very important. Also, compare your result with the other results, other theoretical results or other experimental results. This is very, very important, okay, to support your results. And also, this is what all the researchers look like to get more citation of your work. Okay. The conclusions. This is the best benefit of your work. Conclusions should reflect the abstract, because the abstracts, you put the headlines of the content of your paper. The conclusion is reflecting your abstract, is meaning the good result, good outline of your work, one by one. The acknowledgement, this is not necessary, but is important for who is getting financial support from any university, any institution, any foundation, and etc. The references also are important, should be updated. I mean, within my experience, should be less than 10 years age, okay? And there are different styles to write your references. There is Harvard, there is Cambridge, and different styles. Supporting information, this is another part for analysis, experiments, and additional data. Some of the biological scientists, some of the agricultural scientists, some of the chemical scientists, they need to support their papers with specific data and information. For example, if you are doing your research on animal or planet, you need to get copyrights, okay, from doing these experiments on animal or planet, because there are some warns, okay, should be avoided if you did your medication or your medical application on this animal or plant. The body of paper in a typical journal, this is the body, is presented to you. Introduction, methodology, results, including text, table, figures, discussion, acknowledgement, literature cited. A number of journals, including some highly prestigious one like, for example, Science and Nature, this is the very top journals, okay, worldwide, have very different formats. So this format called template, different template, but we will focus on the standard format used by the vast majority of the journal. The vast majority of journal is given here on the left side of your screen. Introduction, materials and methods, results, discussion, acknowledgement, literature cited. This is the general format, but for specific journals, for example, Science, Nature, Solar Energy, and others, they have their own template, okay? Their own format. So all the authors and researchers should follow up their formats. Introduction. Begin with the, introduction. Begin with the broad-dashed scope and progressively narrower, leading steadily to the statement of objective in the last sentence or paragraph in introduction. As given here in the rectangulars, start with the general overview, then minimize it to previous studies, then minimize it to objective of your own work. Objective, the last sentence or paragraph in introduction needs to follow from the rest of introduction and transitions to the description of materials and methods. It is critical that the goals and objective be stated clearly and applicable, stated quantitatively. The objective is very important. Normally, from my experience, it takes around an average 5 lines. Okay, 5 lines should be detailed what you achieved in your work. What did you analyze? What did you characterize? What did you calculate? This is detail everything to show to the reader the spirit of your own work. This is an example of the objective. Okay, the purpose of this study is to see if there is a difference in the fish in the 3 parts of a stream. This objective really is not good. But to be more detailed, be more benefited, I need to detail more. As you see, the overall goal of the study was to test the hypothesis that habitat complexity was positively correlated with the fish species diversity and density. Specifically, we sampled the fish community and physical features in 2 habitat units. In each of 3 streams, and also measured the micro habitat features where fish were caught. These data were used to analyze blah blah blah, characterize blah blah blah, and measure blah 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 forever. This detailed objective will be very advantageous. In contrary to the first upper 2 lines, this is not good, and definitely if the reviewer or editor read the not good objective, will reject your paper. This is the methodology. The description of what was needed to do the work. Example specimen or echantillon. What was done, how it was done, when and where. Not a narrative as you might write to your friends describing your day. First, we drove the bander to the river, then we launched the boat, and this is quoted from specific reference. But another concise description of what reader would need to envision, understand, assess, and replicate their work. This is detailed description of the methodology. Continue for our example, a standard length is used throughout. Terminology and method for taking account and measurements follow Peetish and Grobecker. This is referenced in 1987. The holotype is deposited in the collections of the National Museum of Natural and Cultural History in Jakarta, Indonesia. Symbolic codes for additional institutions are those provided by Leviton et al. That's meaning and his workers, published in 1985. While genomic DNA was extracted from skeletal muscle of the holotype of the new species and 3 species of Histiophilin, Cryptaridius tissues and available from Bougainville using the DNA mini kit in Quangen. These descriptions are quite good and benefited for the second part of your work. Okay, this is just an example for the methodology represented by methods and materials. The body of your work is given here in the result. You can see verbal description of the findings of your study as they pertain to the hypothesis and goals in the order in which the hypotheses were posed. To present figures, if you have tables, if you have to, statistical analysis, this is very important. And no interpretation, no comparison, just the facts with no editorializing. This is really should be avoided because the body of your paper should include good interpretation, good comparison, to embody the facts you have reached, okay, with good editing, I mean with good language. The language should be very perfect. The discussion begin with the interpretation of data with respect to the specific objective of the study, and then get progressively broader interpreting papers by others, ending with the concepts used to start the introduction. Discussion is supporting the results, okay? Without discussion is meaningless, but discussion could help the author or researcher to support his or her own results when he will discuss the result or current result with the previous one, to say our research team results has proved that the information is more informative than the previous one, and put the reference between 2 square brackets. The acknowledgement, this is good but not necessary. Good to acknowledge the institution or university or foundation who supported you financially or technically or with any type of information or knowledge. You got to support your own work. References is very important, okay? Because this is very benefit to all readers, not to use your work only, but also to use the other references published elsewhere, maybe in Japan published, or in US or UK and elsewhere. And also the references, the list of references are very important to let the readers or authors to get more and more information and to learn more about the style of writing the papers. This is very, very important. So I give you an example. Everything cited in the paper must be listed. This is very important. And nothing else. This is not a bibliography, but strictly a list of relevant papers on the subject. Only the ones actually used in the paper. They must be listed in alphabetical order in the format specified by the selected journal. This is also, last point is important because some of the journals list the references in alphabetical style, A, B, C, D, E. Some of the journals list the references in numbered manner, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is also very important to all the readers. Okay, when you finish your paper, you need to submit your paper, but where? This is another question. How to select your journal? Each journal specialized in a specific area of research, hence its readership varies. A proper choice of journal can make a larger impact of your research. Get to know the focus and readership of the journal that you are considering. Okay, general versus specialized area journal. I give you an example. I have paper about solar cells. Okay, so there are two journals, one called Solar Energy, second called Solar Devices. So I need to select the more suitable one to my research about solar cells. Which one is better? So I will go first to Solar Devices because solar cells is a light device to convert the light into electric current. So I need to submit my paper first to journal entitled Solar Devices. If succeeded, that's good. If rejected, I will go to journal Solar Energy. Why? Because solar energy is the umbrella to cover solar cells, solar devices, and solar energy. So more general title. So in this case, you need to select 2 to 3 journals in your area related with high impact factors. Discuss with your senior, your advisor, your expert, how to submit and which one is better. And find out the journal submission criteria and format is available online for all journals. You can see here different journals with different values of impact factor. Starting with Nature, this is 42 something impact factor, followed by Science. Nature is a British journal. Science is American journal. Advanced Materials is German journal. Also German journal, Advanced Functional Material. And you can go down with the impact factor 14, 12, 9, 8, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay? The question now. How to calculate the impact factor of any journal? There is simple formula given to you here. Number of citation for the current year divide on number of publications for the last 2 years. Okay, now we are in the year 2020. So the impact factor of the year 2020 is number of citation in 2020 divided by number of publications for the last 2 years, 2019 and 18. This is the impact factor. The submission, this is online system. Okay, online system is available for the most journal worldwide. I am editor-in-chief, and there is online system. So you need to create your own account of username and password, then fill in your own personal information, okay? Then follow up the instructions to upload your cover letter, your manuscript, your figures, your tables, and any additional files required for submission, okay? So this is the submission system for journals. After submit, your manuscript will subject to review process. Who will handle the review process? Maybe the editor-in-chief, maybe the reviewer, maybe the editor himself, okay? So they will send your paper in general to 2 or 3 reviewers. 2 or 3 reviewers. Okay? My own policy of review process is to send to 1 reviewer only for my own journal. Okay? And the reviewer will read your manuscript in detail, starting from title until references. The title may be not suitable, so the reviewer will suggest the good title. Maybe suggest you to polish your English language. Maybe suggest you to add further previous studies in introduction. Maybe suggest you to detail your methodology. Maybe suggest you to discuss more your results. Maybe suggest you to update your list of references. Okay? Thereafter, they will send you the report. The report could be your paper is accepted for publication, or your paper is deserves to be revised. Okay? So in this case, you will receive comments of reviewers. You need to follow up the comments, then return back your paper or manuscript to the journal to take final decision. Or your paper is not good, so the decision will be rejected. This is the revision and galley proof. What to do if the paper gets rejected? What you will do? You will be disappointed? No. Please be brave, be strong. I already have experience of reject papers. Albert Einstein has got rejection from physical review in 1930 something. Okay, so this is not the end of the world. When you receive decision about reject, that's meaning there are comments deserve to be read carefully and to take into consideration all the comments. Okay, all the comments. Why to take into consideration? Because you need to improve the quality of your paper. So please don't disappoint it. Absolutely. Be strong always along the time. Okay? Revise your paper, improve your paper, ameliorate your paper, okay? To be very, very, very important. What to avoid? This is very important. These are advices for all researchers. Data without scientific discussion, application of data or reviews of literature are not sufficient. Okay, you need to avoid it. Routine synthesis, characterization of nanomaterials or studies that report incremental advances are not considered. Use of phrase, for example, novel, first time, okay, in the title, avoided. Okay, names of flowers, fruits, vegetables to describe the nanoparticles, avoided also. This is very, very important. To do the better always, the authors should make every effort to make good presentation with the proper using of English grammar. Okay, I am talking maybe most of you from Africa. This is very important because I already was in Algeria, so I know the English case is very critical there. So you need to improve your ability and capability for better English writing and speaking. This will help you to write very good paper and easy to publish it. Ask colleagues to comment on your paper before send it or submit it for publication. English is not my native language. This is very familiar question. Is faced for all authors, as I said now. So please don't disappoint. Look for your colleague, look for your boss, look for your head of department to help you to improve your language. Reviewers don't wish to review papers that are not readable. This is very important. Because as I told you, I am editor-in-chief of peer-reviewed journal called Experimental and Theoretical Nanotechnology. Some of the papers I received really and frankly doesn't deserve to be published. So I reject directly. Why? Because it is not written well. Not written well. So it's better to reject it. Okay? I'll give you an example. There is ACS publication office, Elsevier also could help all the authors to edit the language for accepted manuscript. Okay, there are a specific number of editing offices in America, in Europe, and in Hong Kong also. Okay, this is very appointed agencies for editing the language of the papers. Most of us never read a paper from start to finish. That's right. Maybe the paper is not in my field. Maybe the paper is very long and I don't have enough time. So it's better to look just quickly, okay? Quick, look for the title first. Abstract, last paragraph of introduction. Last paragraph is objective. First paragraph of discussion, how you manage your discussion. This is very important to show your own skills. And also look about the figures and tables. Are the figures and tables are good or not good? Okay, because also this is very, very important. Nowadays, we are living now on the earth with very high technology. I'll give you an example. One of the researchers has sent his paper to publish it. Unfortunately, there is a figure in his paper drawn by his hand. By his hand, okay? Now we are in the 21st century. There are many softwares and logiciels help you to draw the figures or tables also, okay? No more time, no more way to write your figure by hand. So directly is reject. This is very important. Now we are reaching to the last slides before the polls or questions. So I will let you look at your chosen papers. Tell us a title about why you choose them and what are about. Let us see how they are organized and how best to go about reading them. So let us hear about your own project. I will give you a practice, okay? All the participants now is 410. Thank you for your attendance. And I need to give a short 10-minute summary of what you intend to do. In such situation, you must assume that the audience is interested but not informed, okay? Thus, the introductory sentences are most critical. Now, I will give you specific questions, okay? So I need all of you to share with these questions and to see your capabilities of writing your own papers.
Should I launch the poll for the first question?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Could you please help me with the polls?
I'll do it from my side. So you all see a question on your screen and 3 answers to choose from. So please choose the right answer.
Nadine, you will use your own?
Yes, yes, Professor Yarub.
Okay, so, okay, I am waiting them. Yes, that's right. Please hear the first question. You have to select your paper title, concise or detailed title. Please select one of the 3 answers. How many of second you give, Nadine?
1 minute is enough, I guess, until now I have around 150 participants that have answered. I'll wait for the others or the majority of the others. And
1 minute, 1 minute is okay.
Are you able to see the progress of the answer, Professor Yarub?
I am now seeing the polls. All the polls I am seeing now.
Yeah, you're able to see how the percentages for each answer given, like my view. Okay, great. So you have the same view.
I see. Okay, dear participants, please answer the question number 1 within 1 minute. Okay, now less than 1 minute, please. All of you are hearing me, so please answer the question. You have to select your paper title. Is it concise or detailed title? Please select one of the 3 answers.
Okay, I think we've collected enough answers.
Yes.
Would you want me to publish the answers? I will end the poll.
Let them answer all the questions, then we will publish later.
Okay.
Go now to question number 2. Question number 2, in your paper, under introduction, introduction is section number 1. You have general overview and the previous studies. Do you need objective of work? I repeat the question. Do you need objective of work? Yes, no, or unsure? Please answer your question. You have 1 minute. Do you need objective of work?
Okay, I think that's 1 minute. I'm going to end it.
Okay, question number 3. In your paper, under experimental or theoretical, this is called methodology, as we talk now. You have to do you need it brief or elaborated? Do you need the methodology, section number 2 of your paper? Do you need it brief or elaborated? Brief, elaborate, or unsure? Please answer. You have 1 minute. The methodology, do you need it brief or elaborate or unsure? I think time is enough.
Yes. Question number
Then next,
4.
please.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another question. In your paper, you discuss your own thoughts. Do you need to reference them? Your own thoughts. In your paper, you discuss your own thought. Own thought. Do you need to reference them? Yes, no, or unsure? Your own thought. Do you need or no or unsure? Is there answer from all participants?
Yes, that's 1 minute.
Okay, then next, please.
Question number 5.
Question number 5. You include a table or figure from another source. Do you need to reference them? Yes, no, or unsure? From another source, do you need to reference them? Yes, no, or unsure? Then next, please. Before last question, you found a paragraph in another book or paper, another reference, to support your work. You copy it, putting quotation marks at the start and end, and provide a citation, okay, for this quotation marks. Is this plagiarism? Yes, no, or unsure? You copy the paragraph from another reference between 2 quotation marks at start and end, and provide citation, okay? This is your sincerity. And provide citation. Is this plagiarism? Yes, no, or unsure? Okay. Last
Okay.
question.
This was the last one.
Last one.
Yes. Do you want me to share the results now?
Okay, it's better, please.
Mm-hmm. So for question number 1.
Okay. Okay. Dear participants, look at the result, please. The title should be concise. 3/4 all of you has answered well. Okay. Good. Second question, please. Good. Excellent. In introduction, you need objective. Okay. 4/5 of all of you has answered well. That's good. Very excellent. The next, please. The methodology question, is it brief or elaborated? Elaborate. Excellent. 3/4 of you has answered very well. Thank you. For your own thought, own idea, own discussion, do you need the reference? No, that's good. Okay, almost 2/3 all of you, okay, has answered correctly. No, you don't need for reference for your own idea. Thank you. Excellent here. Okay, from another source you need to reference. That's good. Excellent. Excellent. Very excellent. Almost all of you. Next, please. Here, for you copy it, put quotation marks, provide citation. This is not plagiarism. Excellent. Okay, 3/4 all of you. Okay, thank you.
Professor Yarub, this was the last question, but there are some questions in the question and answer box. Would you like to address some of them for the participants?
Really, I just to show all of them, maybe they are seeing. These are this is practice, okay, given here. Okay, yes. Concise, yes, objective, elaborated methodology, don't need for reference, need reference for another source, practice. So now, I see. On 6. This is you didn't include maybe this last question.
Oh, okay.
This is for you include conclusion in your paper. Does it reflect abstract? Yes or no? So no. Okay. So really, from my own statistics, I found almost 80% of all the participants today, 418. Has benefited of my talk to you. So really, I wish you all the best to write your own papers, on manuscripts, and good luck to publish it in high impact factor journals or peer-reviewed journals, and good luck to get your certificate, even master or PhD. Thank you, Nadine, for your coordination of talk today, and thanks for all the participants from Africa, Europe, and Asia. This is last words from my side.
Thank you so much, Professor Yarub, for your willingness and your contribution to this webinar. Thank you for your very valuable and informative presentation and elaboration. If you have a couple of minutes left in your schedule, I know you have a very busy schedule, But if you have
Okay.
like a couple of minutes in your schedule, would you like to answer a couple of questions from the questions and answer box?
Let me see, please.
Okay.
This is in a Q&A, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I will select maybe 2 or 3 questions randomly.
Okay.
Okay, I will start. This is what kind of tips or advice that you give to PhD students in the first year? First year, you need to go to research only. Even you are experimentalist or theoretician, do your work, your research practically, even using computers, workstations, Park machines, or using experiments, synthesis, or analysis and characterization. When you finish, control your own work of research of your PhD study. Second year, you can publish your published papers. Okay? This is what I follow up with my PhD students. Why is, this is a question from Qusay Mithat Saleh, I think from Egypt. Why the objective paragraph written in the past tense? Really, this is the different behaviors or manners belong to the professors. Personally, this is very important point. I am writing my papers in the present, not past tense, in the present tense, except conclusion. Conclusion, I write it in the past tense, but the full papers in the present tense. Another question from Milud Bouafia, this I think from Algeria. We can utilize site web as a reference. I don't advise to use the website in the references list. No. Because the websites subjects to change from time to time. Okay. This is from Shabani M. How we choose a journal? Just by using impact factor or research area? No. Choosing the journal first on the research area, then impact factor. Not all journals have impact factor. Could be clarivated, could be Scopus. So first choose your research area, then go to impact factor, indexed by Clarivate, which is called previously ISI or impact factor. This is from Rumisia Salhi. How can we improve our English in a short time? By reading. Please read English stories, read English books, exchange English dialogue with specialists. Okay? Rahmani Rami, thank you so much. Can't see the questions. Why? Reem bin Ammar, can't see questions. Please, can you send us the anonymous attendees? Not now. Zubair Saadani, thank you so much. Nadia Isawi, thank you, Prof, for your sharing. Thank you so much. And last question is from Rabiha bin Turki. Okay. J'ai besoin secours, s'il vous plaît. Je suis désolé. Sorry. Because it's already presented. I was eager for all of you to attend and participate with my presentation. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Professor Yarub Al-Douri. Thank you for answering some of the questions. I'm sure that in the future we will have this chance again to host you in one of our webinars, and we will have another chance to answer more questions in the future webinars. And thank you, participants, all for participation in this webinar. The details of the certificate will be emailed to the participants who attended the whole session. So please wait for an email tomorrow from Zoom with the details of how to take your certificate from Researcher Academy if you attended the whole session. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And the last words for you, Professor Yarub, to conclude the webinar.
Thank you so much. I wish you all of you the successful life, successful study, and best wishes to your universities. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.